Welcome back to my YouTube channel WC Coins. World today, we will take a deep dive into the history, the background, the minting process, and the varieties of the 1937 1-cent coin, a coin that belongs to one of the most recognized series in American numismatic history, the Lincoln Wheat Cent. The 1937 1-cent coin, also known as the Lincoln Wheat Cent, was struck by the United States Mint during a period of significant economic recovery following the depths of the Great Depression. In this coin is a symbol not only of American currency, but also of American resilience. The design of this coin was introduced back in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the birth of Abraham Lincoln, who was born in 1809, and the Lincoln Cent became the first regular issue American coin to feature the portrait of a real historical person rather than an allegorical figure. The designer of the coin was Victor David Brenner, a Lithuanian immigrant and talented engraver who submitted a bold portrait of Abraham Lincoln, which eventually became one of the most iconic images in American coinage history, and that portrait remained on the cent for over a century. On the obverse of the coin, the right-facing bust of Lincoln dominates the field with the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," along with the date of issue, which in this case is 1937, and depending on where the coin was struck, it may carry a mint mark beneath the date. The reverse of the coin features two wheat stalks flanking the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America, along with the motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one, and this wheat design gave the coin its nickname, Wheat Cent or Wheat Penny. By 1937, the Lincoln Cent had already been in circulation for 28 years, and during this time, it had become extremely familiar to Americans in daily commerce, making it a coin that was handled by millions on a daily basis, from small purchases to savings jars at home. The 1937 1 cent was struck at 3 mint facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, each with different mintages, and the coins can be identified by their mint marks, with Philadelphia coins having no mint mark, Denver coins showing a small D beneath the date, and San Francisco coins showing a small S. Philadelphia struck the largest number of 1937 cents, producing well over 300 million coins, ensuring wide circulation, while Denver and San Francisco struck fewer coins, and these smaller mintages make them more collectible today, particularly in higher grades. The economic conditions of 1937 were marked by what historians sometimes call the Roosevelt recession, a downturn that occurred within the larger period of the New Deal recovery efforts, and coins like the 1937 cent circulated heavily among Americans struggling to regain stability. Today, collectors appreciate the 1937 1 cent not only for its age, but also for conveying the country's recovery from depression and anticipation of World War II. The mintage of the 1937 Philadelphia cent exceeded 309 million pieces, making it one of the more common wheat cents from the 1930s. Yet condition and strike quality play a huge role in determining value, as most circulated heavily, and only a small portion survived in gem mint condition. Denver produced around 50 million pieces in 1937, and these coins, while still considered common in circulated condition, are scarcer in uncirculated state with fully red surfaces, which makes them desirable for collectors assembling a full Lincoln Wheat Cent collection. San Francisco produced the fewest coins in 1937 with just under 35 million pieces, and as a result, the 1937 cent is often pursued by collectors with special interest because mint state examples are scarcer and demand is higher among specialists of the wheat cent series. An important aspect of the 1937 1 cent coin is the study of die varieties and mint errors, which fascinate collectors, and one of the most famous varieties for the series is the doubled die. But for the year 1937, there are a few minor varieties known, including repunched mint marks. A repunched mint mark occurs when the mint worker accidentally punches the mint mark more than once on the die, resulting in overlapping impressions. And such coins attract a premium among collectors who value the uniqueness of die varieties. Beyond mint mark varieties, collectors also study the color and luster of the coin, which are graded as brown, red, brown, or full red, and the 1937 1 cent with full red original Mint luster is far rarer than a brown example, making it especially valuable. The composition of the 1937 cent was the same as it had been since 1909, consisting of 95% copper with 5% tin and zinc, and this copper-based composition gave the coin its distinct reddish brown appearance when freshly struck. Because copper reacts to environmental conditions, many 1937 cents have toned to darker brown colors over the decades, and collectors often seek out coins that have been preserved with their original red color, as these are much harder to find. The Lincoln wheat cent design by Brenner remained unchanged until 1959, when the reverse was replaced with the Lincoln Memorial design to honor the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, making the 1937 cent part of the classic wheat reverse era. The artistry of Brenner's design and the endurance of Lincoln's image on the smallest denomination of American coinage speaks to the cultural and historical weight of this coin and why it has remained beloved among generations of collectors. In terms of grading, the 1937 cent is evaluated by the Sheldon scale from 1 to 70, with circulated examples ranging from good to very fine and uncirculated examples falling into mint state categories, with grades above MS-65 being particularly scarce. Third-party grading services like PCGS and NGC have certified thousands of 1937 cents, but only a tiny percentage are designated as full red gems with MS-67 and higher grades, bringing significant premiums at auction. High-grade 1937 cents have appeared in numismatic sales, fetching hundreds and even thousands of dollars, depending on the combination of grade, color, and eye appeal, and this demonstrates the wide range of value that the same date can hold depending on condition. The historical significance of the 1937 cent also lies in the broader story of American coinage, as this period was the last full decade before major changes came with wartime shortages and the shift in metal compositions that occurred during World War II. By the early 1940s, the copper used in cents would be diverted for wartime needs, and the 1943 cent was struck in steel, coated with zinc, making the 1937 cent part of the last pre-war years of traditional copper coinage. Collectors often assemble Lincoln wheat cent collections by date and mint mark, spanning from 1909 to 1958, and the 1937 cent is a required piece of that journey, one that connects the earlier teens era with the later post-war issues. The Philadelphia issues are typically the easiest to acquire, but collectors often pursue full sets of Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco examples to complete the story of the year's coinage and to capture the diversity of the mint's output. The Denver Mint in 1937 was located in Colorado and played a vital role in supplying coinage to the western states, while the San Francisco Mint was serving the Pacific Coast, and both mints gave their coins distinctive characteristics in strike and color that specialists often study. While the Philadelphia Mint was the oldest and largest of the three in operation at the time, it struck coins without a mint mark, which is why collectors must pay close attention to the presence or absence of D and S marks when identifying 1937 cents. The study of mint marks became more systematic during the 20th century, as collectors realized that coins from branch mints often had smaller mintages and therefore were more difficult to find in high-grade examples, making them more sought after. The 1937 cent also connects to the cultural story of Lincoln's image being on American money as the president who preserved the Union and abolished slavery was honored on the humble 1-cent coin used by every American, from farmers to city dwellers. During the Great Depression years, even a single cent carried greater value in daily life than it does today, and the 1937 cent would have bought small goods, candy, newspapers, or could be saved in larger numbers for bigger purchases, showing its role in everyday survival. The durability of copper cents also meant that many 1937 coins circulated for decades into the mid-20th century, and some of them were still being found in pocket change by collectors well into the 1960s and 1970s. As the decades passed, more and more collectors began to remove wheat cents from circulation and preserve them in albums and folders, which helped to establish the Popularity of Lincoln cents as one of the most collected series in the world. The 1937 1-cent coin, therefore, holds a place, not just as a small copper disc, but as a symbol of American history from the recovery of the Depression to the years leading up to World War II, while also telling the story of the United States Mint and its branch facilities. For those who collect coins today, the 1937 cent offers opportunities to study design artistry, mint technology, economics, and social history all wrapped into one small piece of copper, making it an endlessly fascinating subject for numismatists and historians alike. And so the 1937 1-cent coin remains a cherished collectible valued for its beauty, its history, its varieties, and its connection to Abraham Lincoln and the story of the United States itself. Thank you for watching WC Coins World. I hope you enjoyed learning about the long and rich history of the 1937 1-cent coin. Make sure to like this video, share it with fellow collectors, and subscribe to my channel for more deep dives into the history of coins from around the world.